Dear friends, we will continue with diagrammatic representation, a presentation of data. In our previous classes, we have seen various kinds of diagrammatic presentation of data. In an earlier module, we have seen bar diagrams, kinds of or types of bar diagrams. Today, we will continue types of bar diagrams. In our previous class, we have seen line diagram, and in kinds of bar diagrams, we have seen simple bar diagram, subdivided bar diagram, and percentage bar diagram. Again, to remind you all, simple bar diagram will be like this. Simple bar diagram will appear like this. Okay. To recall, it is used for comparative study of two or more aspects of a single variable or single category of data. Single variable or simple classification or single category of data is represented. For example, the data relating to profit, sales, production, exports or imports, population, like that. That is known as simple bar diagram. Now we have also seen subdivided. Subdivided means it will be like this. In a single bar, divisions will be there. This may be marks in mathematics, marks in science. This may be of any two variables or any number of variables. So just to recall, subdivided bar diagrams are also known as component bar diagrams. Here, in this case, multiple aspects or factors contributing to that one characteristic will be studied. For example, if we want to study the gross sales of an organization in the last 3 years, a simple bar diagram will be sufficient. However, if we want to break the sales into manufacturing expenses, administrative expenses, selling expenses, interest and profit, we will need a subdivided bar diagram. So here is our subdivided bar diagram. See, this may be manufacturing expenses, this may be administrative expenses, this may be selling expenditure, this may represent this part, and interest, this part of the bar may represent interest, like that. So this is known as subdivided bar diagram. And percentage bar diagram. Percentage bar diagram, in our earlier class we have seen all units will be made to be equal to 100, and then we are going to divide. Total will be equal to 100, but whatever original raw scores are there, they will be represented as part of 100. So these three we have seen, dear friends. Today we will start with multiple bar diagram. Just to continue, this is the third bar diagram that we have seen in our previous class. This is percentage bar diagram. Now we will continue in bar diagrams. Today we will learn about other kinds of bar diagrams. As I have already told you, multiple bar diagram. In simple bar diagram, it is difficult to depict two or more variables. Thus, if two or more sets of data are to be presented simultaneously, multiple bar diagrams are used. In this diagram, two or more bars which either represent different variables or various components of the same variable are constructed adjoining each other. The method of drawing the two bars is exactly the same as already discussed. Like simple bar diagram, the length of various bar varies in the ratio of magnitude of the given values. The width of different bars is identical. Different shades, colors or patterns are used to distinguish the different bars in the given set of data, and an index is provided to explain the same. Multiple diagrams facilitate comparison of values of different variable and of the same variable over a period of time. Now we will see an example how it looks like. With an example I will show you. Here here number of admissions, let us take for example. So number of admissions in BA, BCom and BSc, three courses we will observe. Number of admissions, how multiple bar diagram will be used for depicting this data, we will see. This is 2017, 2018, 2019. So in BA admissions, let us take for example 100. This year 150, next year 250. Let us take for example BCom admissions 150, 250 and 300, and BSc 100, 150, 200. I have taken a very simple example so that you can easily understand. Okay. Now, how to draw? You see, same data we will draw. Okay, this is X and this is Y. Okay. Now this is here. I have taken 2017. Now here 2018. And here 2019. Okay, now we see. So I will take here 50. This is 100. This is 150. This is 200. This is 250. Maximum value is 300. So I will drop to 300 value. So every 10 centimeters I am taking 50 admissions, number of admissions, 300. Now you see how I am going to do. In the year 2017, I will start with BA. BA, totally 100 admissions are there. So here, this is BA. Now, in the year 2017, BCom 150 admissions are there. So here only I will continue. Second bar is for BCom. Then BSc again 100 admissions. So in this year only BSc 100 admissions. So you can see multiple variables I am showing for the same year. That is why this is known as multiple bar diagram. Now coming to 2018 year, BA 150 admissions. So up to 150 I am taking for BA. See, this is 150. So this level I am taking. So BCom 250. Then BSc 150. Like this. In 2018 year also, three different variables have been depicted. Now coming to 2019 year, 250. BA 250. Then BCom 300. Then BSc 200. So like this we have to do. So this is on a single diagram we have shown three different variables. Now in order to distinguish, you can draw certain things to distinguish certain, it may be dots, it may be lines. So this distinguishes BA from BCom like this. Now this is BSCs. So in every different bar we are using different features we are adopting so that we can easily distinguish between admissions of BA and admissions of BSc, BCom like that. Now we have to write compulsorily about them. So I am writing. First dots, this is equal to BA. Next, it is equal to, this is BCom admissions. Now this is equal to So these kinds of diagrams are known as multiple bar diagrams. So you can see three different variables have been shown in the same diagram. Okay. I hope you understood. Similarly, x-axis also we have to mention what for 10 centimeters or 5 centimeters, how much, what is the data that is depicted, we have to show. That is otherwise known as scale. X-axis. Similarly, y-axis. One centimeter is equal to 50 students. Similarly, on the x-axis, we have shown BA, BCom, BSc groups. Okay, so like that you have to compulsorily write scale and features of various bars. I hope you understood. So I hope you understood this. Okay. Now next diagram is going to be fifth one. That is going to be deviation bar diagram. Deviation bar diagram. See, deviation bar diagrams are used for presentation of net quantities. Net quantity means, let us take for example, you take the case of a business organization. 1 year profits may come, next year losses may be incurred. So that data can be represented in a best way in a deviation bar diagram. So it is used for presentation of net quantities which can be positive or negative. Net positive figures are presented by bars above the baseline, while negative figures are shown below the baseline. Now let us take for example how they are going to show. With an example I will tell. Okay. Now this is an example. Year, profit and the loss. See, in the year 2017, 2018, 2019. So profit in crores, and the loss also in crores. So profit, let us take for example in the year 2017, 200 crore profit came. In the year 2018, a loss of 100 crores came. And in the year 2019, 100 crores profit came. Let us take for example. So this is the data that has been given for us. There are deviations. As already mentioned, deviation diagrams are used to present the net quantities. When two sets of data are given and their net balance can be positive or negative. Okay. Now I am directly depicting, I have taken the example of net figures directly, but sometimes it may be given total expenditure total income, and you have to derive net amount out of it, whether profit is incurred, profit is there, or losses are there for the organization. You have to calculate. So directly, for our easy understanding, I have given net figures. Total profit is 200 crores in the year 2017, and in the year 2018 there is a loss, and in the year 2019 again there is a profit. Now we have to depict, and for this simple bar diagram will not be suffice. Subdivided or component bar diagram will not be suffice. Percentage bar diagram will not be good. Multiple bar diagram, which we have seen just now, it will not be suitable. So we have to take the help of deviation bar diagram. See how it is done. I am showing you. As usual, this is Y and this is X axis. Now, two 2017, 2000. 2018 and 2019. So this is 17. Here I have taken it as 18, and this is 19. 3 years data I am depicting. So here we want deviations also should be shown there. So I am clearing this. This is X axis. This is Y axis. X axis, Y axis, and now I want a deviation also. So that is why negative amount is also there. So this helps me in deviation, in showing a deviation. Okay. So this is 50. This is 100, 50, 100, 150. Highest profit is 200 crores. So 200 I have shown here, and here this is 50. This is 100. This is negative side, means minus 50 means this is loss. Below x-axis represents loss, whereas above x-axis represents profit. Okay. So now again this is 2017, this is for 2018, and this is for 2019. 17, 18, and 2019. Now you see, first of all, for 2017, 200 crores profit is there. Up to 200, you have to draw like this. This bar, okay. In the year 2018, 100 crores loss is there. So loss below x-axis we have to depict, we have to show. Okay. Now in the year 2019, 100 crores profit came. So it is equal to 100, whereas here it is equal to 200. This is equal to minus 100, means loss is there. So on x-axis, years have been shown. We have to mention that. On y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 50 crores. Has been depicted like that. We have to show. Say these are known as deviation bar diagrams. Okay. I hope you understood. So we have seen simple bar diagram, subdivided bar diagram, percentage bar diagram in our earlier classes. Now today we have seen multiple bar diagram and deviation bar diagram. And today we will also see duodirectional diagram, bar diagram. Okay. So now sixth type of bar diagram is duodirectional bar diagram. Duodirectional bar diagram. Okay, as the name itself implies, in duodirectional bar diagrams, bars are drawn in two directions. These diagrams are used to present an aggregate result of different and opposite components of the same phenomenon. The total gross value of the phenomenon is broken down into two components, with one part being shown above the x-axis or to the right of y-axis, and the other being shown below the x-axis or to the left of y-axis. For example, sales figures can be split into expenses and profit. Okay, but now I will take a different example showing admission of students under regular mode and correspondence mode. So I am taking the example of students being admitted in a college or in a university under regular mode and correspondence mode. Okay. Now the data is like this. Okay. Number of students, regular mode, and correspondence mode. Okay, number of students. This is, you take it as number of the year number of the year in which they are admitted, 2017, 2018, 2019. And regular mode, let us take for example, this is 150, 200, 250. And correspondence mode, let us take for example 50, 70, and 100. This is the data that has been given. Then what is the solution? Okay, as usual, draw x-axis and y-axis. Okay, this is y-axis. This is y-axis, but this is x-axis. For x, we have to take two directions. That is why it is duodirectional. Okay. Now we see this. I am taking as 50. And so left side of y-axis, distance mode I am depicting. Right side of y-axis, I am showing regular mode. 50, 100, 200 and 250. Okay. 3 years data we have to show. This is 2017. This is 2018. And this is 2019. Okay. So now first under regular mode in the year 2017, 50 students joined. 150 students joined. So 50, 100 here 150 will come. Okay. So in the year 2017, regular mode 150 joined, and in correspondence mode 50 students joined. So this side up to 50. In the year 2018, regular mode 200 joined, and correspondence mode 70 students joined. So it should be between 50 and 100. So I have taken here. In the year 2019, regular mode 250 students joined, and in correspondence mode 100 students joined. So like this we are going to depict. This is a duodirectional bar diagram. In this case, the diagram is on both the sides of the baseline, to left and right, or to above or below sides. So like this it is going to be. As usual, you have to show scales. Yeah, on the x-axis what you have taken, on y-axis what you have taken, you have to show. So thank you dear students. I hope you understood. We will meet again in the next class.